Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're a newbie. If you like vegan and cruelty-free things, that's kind of what I do around here, so make sure you subscribe if you would like to. Today we're chatting all things e.l.f. and the e.l.f. Retro Paradise collection, which is a recent launch, recent collection, and I'm here to review it for you. I don't usually get suckered in by collections, I promise, but I saw that this collection in particular, obviously it's vegan and cruelty free across the board, absolutely lovely. It's also paraben free, which I didn't realise, but I quite like that because my skin is quite sensitive, and specifically to certain ingredients, I find certain products that have parabens in anecdotally irritate my skin or make my eyes feel quite heavy. When I'm wearing eyeshadow that has parabens in, they just feel really heavy. I don't like it. So I tend to avoid them, but again, that's anecdotal. Anywho, I picked up these because the collection was actually designed by a team of beauty influencers. So it says, inspired by the vibrancy of the Bahamas with sunset-like hues, this collection takes you to paradise, wherever you are. The collection itself has lip glosses, brushes, eyeshadow, like metallic liquid eyeshadow similar to the Stila Magnificent Metals or the glimmer things, you know, the Stila, like quite famous little products. I didn't pick up everything because I didn't want to, waste money in buying the whole collection. But I did pick up the eyeshadow palette. This is their Retro Paradise 18-piece eyeshadow palette, £13. And I also picked up their body oils. These are their Glow Up body oils in the shade Golden Hour and Sunkissed. So one's more of a bronzy shade, one's more of a champagne gold, and these were £12 each. And I also picked up the brush. I have actually already taken it out of the packet, but this is what the packet looked like. It's their Glow Up body brush, and I have used it once. These are, like I say, £12, which is pretty decent considering they look exactly like the Fenty, the Fenty ones that started this whole craze of like body oils and body glitters. I think what are hers called? Body glows, maybe? But they reminded me instantly of those Fenty ones, but obviously a lot more affordable. But what I would say is you only get 80 millilitres. Like, these are quite small. I don't know if you can see, but like they're not huge. It's not a lot of product. I'm not very good at visualizing product before I receive it. Do you know what I mean? Like I read 80 millilitres and I think like, oh, that's okay. 80, that's quite a big number. It's actually not. When it comes to product, 80 millilitres for £12 is not that much. So you probably would go through these quite quickly. So I don't know how cost effective they are. But if you've been looking at something like the Fenty, whatever they're called, if you've been looking at those and you don't want to break the bank, these might be a good one to start out with. I don't actually know how much the Fenty ones are. Let me Google. Fenty Body Lava, that's it, Body Lava. £46? Well, I never. Yeah, I would not spend that on a body lava. Apparently those are quite sticky as well, and what I can say first impressions wise, these are not sticky at all. They feel kind of like a dry oil almost, and I've actually got these on at the moment. So I'll put some more on so you can see, but I've got Sunkissed on this arm, and I've got, you can't really see, my arms are quite hairy as well. I feel a little bit insecure doing this, but it's fine. Body hair is normal, guys. This is what it looks like when you pop it on, and I'm actually going to work this in with my hands because I think that gives a better result as opposed to the brush. I don't know if it's going to pick up in focus on camera. God, it's like I'm rotating a slab of meat, isn't it? Or one of those, those kebab things, like. It gives the skin a really nice sheeny look with a little bit of shimmer as well. Don't get me wrong, there is shimmer in there. But it's not chunky, doesn't feel chunky, it just feels kind of like a dry oil. It doesn't feel sticky, doesn't even feel oily or slippery at all. It dries really, really quickly. So that is Sunkissed. And then the Golden Hour shade I actually prefer, even though when I bought this I thought that might be a bit too much. Like that might be too dark for me because obviously I'm not a deep skin tone. But it doesn't look ridiculous, doesn't look orange. It does kind of bronze the skin a bit without making it look like you've got something on your skin. Like it blends in really, really nicely. Does give a little bit of colour to the skin, like a bit of a tanning effect, along with the shimmer. So I really like this one and I do actually recommend this. However, I did watch some reviews prior to purchasing some products and they said you need to get the body brush that goes with it. And in my head I thought, I don't need another brush. I don't need a body brush. These are my body brushes. You know what I'm saying? My fingers, my toes. Not my toes. My fingers and my hands are my body brushes. I anticipated that I wouldn't need this, and I really don't think you do. You can see, I have tried it with the body oils, and hopefully you can see how much product it sucks up. It's just full of product. It's a really nice soft brush, don't get me wrong, but you could use any makeup brush. Like if you've got a similar makeup brush to this that is sort of like semi-dense and soft, just use that. Or just use what your mama gave you, you know? And then in terms of the eyeshadow palette, this retails for £13, so £13 for 18 shades is a pretty good deal. And I'm wearing some shades from this palette right now. Alrighty, let's try some of these shades. So I have just, full disclaimer, I have just put some eyeshadow primer on. I used the Essence You Better Work eyeshadow primer, and I tried to go in with this purple shade all over the lid. It's called Tropicana. It's a lovely lilac shade in the pan. On the lid, did not work. I don't know if it's because I set it down first with this canvas shade or if it needs to be applied wet. I feel like it might work as a transition shade, so we're going to try this. This is take 2. First impressions from that little fail is that there is quite a lot of fallout from these. If you'll be able to see, but Fuego is kicking up a lot of stuff. So that's that. I don't mind too much about kickback, but it does mean I probably should have left my base makeup until after I've done my eyeshadow, but we live, we learn. I'm still determined to use these colourful shades, so I'm going to take Tropicana again, and I'm going to use it, instead of all over the lid, I'm going to use it as a transition shade. Still took a little bit of building up, but definitely nicer as a transition shade as opposed to all over the lid, so it's alright, we're getting places now. And I do think some of these shimmers are actually eyeshadow toppers. I don't think they are shimmers in themselves because they don't have enough pigment, it's mainly just shimmer. If that makes any sense? I don't know if it does, but you'll see in the swatches. I'm going to take Sip Sip on my finger all over my eyelid. Oh, that's better. I'm going to take a little bit of Dijon on a smudger brush. Dijon, Sandy Bum and Fuego. I love these shade names. I can never do this whilst I'm in frame. I'm going to take the navy blue called Royal and the black, which is called Nightlife, and add that to my upper lash line. I'm going to use these as kind of like eyeliner. Okay, or maybe I'm not, because that did absolutely nothing. Yeah, that's not great. I'm just going to wet my brush a bit and see if that makes any difference with the royal blue. Okay, the fallout is real. I would say the deeper shades, the darker shades, they are not good in this palette. They're workable, like you can see I kind of made a wing, but you definitely have to wet your brush for that royal shade. Okay, next up I'm going to take Paraiso, I'm not sure how you say, and just pop that in the inner corner. And then I'm going to take Canvas and pop that under the brow bone and top it off with a little bit of sea salt. Oh, okay, that's not what I was expecting. Sea salt is super chunky. I don't like that at all. I don't know if you guys can see, but that was... I was expecting a nice white shimmer. My bad. And then I'm going to take the Innercare mascara. For lips, I picked up these Revolution Pro Hydra Gloss. I got the shade Tainted, which is this nude, and Spoken, which is this beautiful red. I really want to go for the red, but I feel like that's overload of colour. What do you guys think? Let's play it safe with the nude. The only issue is with this nude is it came broken. Can you see that? So I'm going to dunk into it with a different lip gloss. God, the things we do for love, eh? Oh, hold up. A bit of lip liner. I do already have a little bit of lip liner on from earlier. This is also by Revolution. It is the shade Heart Race. I like the look that I came out with, but these weren't the easiest shadows to work with. Well, some of them were difficult, some of them were problem children, some of them were teachers' pets, do you know what I'm saying? Some were not great. The shade Royal was an absolute bugger to work with. I don't really like it. I think that it's a nice colour, but I had to wet my brush to get it to work. Same with Nightlife, hopefully you can see from the swatches. In fact, I'll insert swatches now before I go through each shade so you can just see what I'm talking about. This is the top row swatched, so from right to left. Canvas, you can't really see, but that's basically my natural skin, like flesh tone. Then the brown is Sandy Bum, Rise and Shine, Spiced, Paradiso, and Coconut. Right, worst swatches ever, but from left to right, this is Dijon, Sea Salt, Fuego, Sip Sip, Bajamar, and Tropicana. And then last but not least, from left to right, Caliente, Cacao, Fortuna, Royal, Disco, and Nightlife. I feel like Disco has a little bit of cross-contamination. It doesn't really have any orange to it, but that's just the leftovers of Caliente. So as you just saw, Nightlife is not the best matte black out there. It's really not that great, and I never have high hopes for drugstore matte shadows because they're usually a bit crappy. But what I will say, the redeeming factor of this palette is that these kind of like more warm mattes, very pigmented. I wasn't expecting them to be so pigmented, but Sandy Bum, I love the shades as well, the shades are great, like the names. Like Sandy Bum, Dijon, Caliente, and Cacao, lovely, really, really blendable, very pigmented, just lovely everyday shadows. I think they're really, really good. Sea Salt was another dud. That's just like a shimmery nothingness, like chunky, glittery, not even shimmery, I take that back, a glittery, chunky nothingness. Don't like that one. And then some of these shades, like these two shimmers were lovely. Rise and Shine and Fortuna were lovely. Nice kind of like foiled shades. Paradiso? There's no D. Why am I saying D? Paraiso. How do you say that? What does that mean? Tell me. Oh, it's Italian. I should know that. Ruh-roh. Let's see how it's said. Paradiso. Oh, tits. Okay, I should know that. Paradiso and Disco are really nice shadow toppers, I would say, or like they're very ethereal. I've got Paradiso in my inner corner, a really nice shade, but I wouldn't say it's like a shimmer. It doesn't have enough pigment to it to be called a shimmer in my opinion. So yeah, I feel like these might take a little bit of working with. And then I've obviously got Sip Sip all over my eyelid and Tropicana in my crease. Tropicana was a pain in the arse. I thought it was going to be a really nice matte shade to do all over the lid, but it's not. It's a nice crease shade, but you're not going to get any more than like a sheer sort of pastel shade to it. So overall, I think this palette is workable. I think that it's a nice palette. I probably give it like 6.5 out of 10. I think that I will definitely be using it lots, but I don't think you need to rush out and go get it. That's my review, mic drop. But I think in terms of the influencers who designed it, I think they did an amazing job at picking really great colours, and the shade name's beautiful, and I think it's an interesting collection. So that's my little review. I think the main star of the show is the body oil in Golden Hour. I think this is glorious, and I can't wait for it to get warmer so that I can yeah, wear it. I also love that it doesn't transfer to clothes, like because it does set down, it doesn't transfer to clothes. Although what I will say is I feel like it's reacted with my necklace. I put a little bit on this is Golden Hour on this side. I put a little bit on and I feel like I do have sensitive skin, I should have said that, and they are quite fragranced. They smell like pineapple. They smell delicious, but yeah, sometimes fragrance just irritates my skin randomly as well. Like at the moment, absolutely nothing on my arms. My arms don't feel itchy at all, but on my legs, I put a little bit on my leg. Not itchy at all, but just my chest is just a little bit more sensitive. So if you've got really sensitive skin, these might be a bit too heavily fragranced for you, but I don't know, it could be the necklace. This is like a really old Claire's necklace, so I mean, who's to say? Could be that. Who knows? But anywho, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a little thumbs up and let me know if you're picking up this collection or anything from this collection, what you think of it, what you think of e.l.f, your favourite e.l.f product. I am loving their sheer, like their under eye setting powder at the moment. It's absolutely delightful. And I love how affordable e.l.f is, and I love that you can get it at Superdrug now in the UK. It's great. Yeah, please subscribe if you haven't already. If you want to see something more from me, I'll link another video for you to watch, and hopefully I'll see you very soon. Bye guys.